Year 5 Geography begins in California, a place that children have visited before when they studied earthquakes. There they encountered the San Andreas Fault, deepening their knowledge of the Earth's crust. But this time, children are learning about drought, the causes, effects, and how human actions can make droughts worse or help to manage them. Back in Year 3, children first learned the water cycle and the importance of rainfall for ensuring rivers flow, revisited in Year 4. They'll recognize the word precipitation and make meaning out of groundwater. As if by design, just before California, children studied deserts, thus preparing them to consider once again a semi-arid landscape, its flora and fauna, and the effects of a lack of precipitation. But California's drought is not simply about rain. What happens when most precipitation is in the north of California, and yet most water is required in the south? What happens when the crops grown are water intensive, such as almonds? What happens when the consumption of water by residents increases? And what happens when the rain doesn't fall? Children are ready to use and practice a word when considering the causes of drought, a useful geographical word: factors. What factors caused the Californian drought? And what factors intensified the drought? Already familiar with interactions of land and water and the complexity of the Earth's crust, we move to oceans, where children learn that water is moved around the Earth by currents. This also builds children's map skills in geography, as they examine how warm currents move water from the equator, while cold currents move water towards the equator, thus affecting the Earth's climate. Knowledge surfacing from years 3 and 4 prepares children to access another useful geographical word: interaction. Interaction will crop up again in Year 5 Geography. From the world's oceans, we move closer to home, studying migration. We begin with Danielle, a young teacher from rural Northern Ireland who moves to Liverpool to find work and opportunities. This is an example of internal migration, moving within the United Kingdom. Danielle's story introduces pupils to the reasons for migration, whether internal or external, push and pull factors. These push and pull factors will be revisited when we move to North and South America and consider the reasons for rural to urban migration, a phenomenon that has occurred since humans began to build cities. The first city with a population of over 1 million was ancient Rome. London had a population of over 5 million for over 100 years. But today, we find urban settlements with a population of over 10 million. We call these megacities. New York City was the first. And then we're off to study the megacities of South America: Lima, Sao Paulo, and Rio. Children's knowledge from studying population in Year 4 will be brought to mind when we consider the distribution of these megacities. And that useful new word, interaction, will be recalled to consider how the building of megacities has led to the unintended growth of the favelas in Brazil. This is the study of interaction, not between humans and the physical world, but within the human world. We remain with South America and interaction when we home in on the Amazon. A few years ago, some Year 6 children in North London had an online conversation with some children in an Amazonian village in Bolivia. There we learned about the place where Jose and Lisette live, their school and pets, their food and families, and the landscape and climate. Through the stories of indigenous children, we learn about the variety of environments that make up the Amazon, and the varied ways of life of the diverse people who live there. We're now ready to learn about all the living and non-living things in a particular place and the ways in which they interact. We're ready to learn about an ecosystem. One of the world's most diverse and complex ecosystems is found in the Amazon, and we're back to the water cycle. The Amazon River playing a crucial part of the water cycle in South America. That oh-so-useful knowledge that every river has a source and a mouth comes back again. The Nile might be the world's longest river, but the Amazon contains the most water and has more than one source. Its many tributaries contribute to the volume of water. Year 3 knowledge helps to deepen and broaden Year 5 knowledge. In our final unit, Interconnected Amazon, we stay with interaction, but this time within the human world, specifically trade. Children have seen that there are many connections within the Amazon, and they move beyond to study the global connections between the Amazon and other places, including their own school, one of the many opportunities for fieldwork built into the Opening Worlds Geography curriculum.